Hello, my friends. You guessed it, AstroBeauty back again for yet another episode of How Can I Match My Makeup to the Moon Signs? Today, the moon is in Leo. And so we are going to put together a Leo makeup look. And we're going to talk about the moon in Leo, the astrology in Leo, and what happens as the moon goes through Leo this month. I will see you guys back in just a minute after I put on my face makeup. We are back with our full face makeup done for our Moon in Leo video and makeup look for today. So let's get started on a few little things about Leo before I get into the makeup look for today, because that just always seems to be how it goes. And then we'll just talk about all of our stuff and we'll do all of the stuff. Okay, so the moon is in Leo. Leo is a fixed fire sign, which means it's like right in the middle of the fire sequence signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries is cardinal. It starts things off. Leo's is fixed. It sustains the frequency. And Sagittarius is mutable, and it kind of winds things down and is more go with the flow and a different expression of the fire. They're all kind of different expressions of the fire energy. But Leo is the fixed fire, so it's like the full sustained frequency of the fire energy, and it's also the only sign that is ruled by the sun. Just like Cancer is the only sign that's ruled by the moon, Leo is the only sign that's ruled by the sun. So a lot of qualities that you think of when you think of, the sun, it shines, it's bright, it's creative. I mean, it gives like all life on the planet, stuff like that. So For my Leo look today, I am going with the standard gold. You probably could have called that, but there's also a lot of ways. I was actually having a very hard time deciding what I should do for my Leo look today. There's a special place in my heart for the moon in Leo because my moon is in Leo, so I feel good about this video and this sign, and we're just going to get right into it, and we're going to talk about the moon in Leo. So let's go. Like I said, I'm wearing gold like the sun. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this. I almost did like a party makeup theme, like a celebration or like a show, like, big glam makeup, but I didn't have any outfits that I felt like would just go with that the way that I wanted to. And honestly, I've had a lot going on this week, so I just want to keep it super basic. And there's also not much going on for you Leo moon, Leo ascendants, and strong Leo people right now, mainly because the fixed signs outside of the planet Uranus being in a fixed sign are not really on like blast or highlight right now with the other planets. Right now, most of the frequencies are coming through either the cardinal signs or the mutable signs, and the fixed signs are kind of getting like a little bit of a break right now, and Leo, like I said, is a fixed sign. And so there's not like a super ton to go over today. So I realized that, maybe we can just keep it a little like low key, like just do a standard Leo look. And it doesn't have to be like a big show today because there's really not that much of a big show going on with Leo. So we're just, for our first moon and Leo video, just going to do a standard Leo look. And what's a standard Leo look? To me, a standard Leo look is shades of gold, shades of purple, because those are the color of royalty. And Leo, the sun, it's the king of, the zodiac. It's the most regal, I guess, frequency, constellation, a lot of associations with royalty and the sign of Leo. And so I like to wear gold and purple when the moon goes into Leo, and that actually works out well because I've been starting to feel like goldenrod, mustard yellow. I mean, this is like golden gold. Well, I would call it gold. Some people might call it like buttercup. That's the color it is on my son's Go Fish card game that we play all the time. They have it a color exactly like this, and they call it buttercup. But I'm calling it goldenrod for our Leo video today. But I like to wear gold and purple, and those colors seem to be, I've been seeing them, I feel like they're like on trend this fall, so extra plus. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to do just like a standard cat eye Leo. And I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do like big Leo hair or if I'm going to just like, I got some scrunchies yesterday. Have I said how I feel about the 90s revival in clothing? I think it's great. Scrunchies, bodysuits, like, are we kidding right now? Hello. So yeah, I got some scrunchies the other day, and I got some in this gold color. So I'm thinking I might like put my hair up ballerina style with a scrunchie, or maybe not, I don't know. But let's just do the makeup because I talk too much in the beginning, and then my videos end up being an hour and a half long. Okay, so for my makeup for today, to go with my gold theme, I am going to do like a darker purple, like plum. I'm going to do like a plum-ish cheek, a plumish lip, and I'm going to do, like I said, a cat eye, which I don't ever really do like real cat eyes, but I'm going to try it today. And since I'm doing like the dark on my lips and cheeks, I don't want to do like, that was the hardest thing I had deciding for my Leo look, what to do with my eyes, because I have so many beautiful like glitter shades that I want to use, and they're just like a party on your eyes, and that would be so great for Leo, but there will be other opportunities when Leo is more highlighted in the spotlight, and we'll do it then. So for today, we're going to go with the feline theme, the lion, yes, the lion queen. Maybe that's what we'll call our video. I don't know. Queen, because like the purple and the gold with the feline. It's just what I'm thinking. Okay, so prime my eyes before I forget. And let us start speaking about astrology. After this, don't let me forget I'm reminding myself not to let me forget I need to curl my lashes first. Because if I don't, I'll get to the end and then I'll probably mess the entire thing up. I need to curl my lashes after I do this. Now, for this couple of days here while the moon goes into Leo, this is what we're dealing with. Like I said, the fixed signs being Taurus, Scorpio, well, Aquarius and Leo. Taurus, Scorpio more so because Uranus, the big planet of shakeups, surprises, and that like brings the future, I feel like, is in Taurus. So that axis does have quite a bit going on. But the Leo and Aquarius axis, praise Lord, does not have anything in it right now, and it's not really making any hardcore aspects to anything. Well, there's an aspect, we'll talk about it. There's an aspect with Jupiter, and then there's the Uranus aspect. But that's really like the only things we're working with. So I'm really hoping that the next couple days, as the moon goes through Leo, we should maybe get like a little bit of a break in terms of the energetics that have been going on, because these are kind of intense times. And I don't know, I don't have like a huge like source of people to like see what's going on with them and draw from. I'm just kind of looking at things from like an overall standpoint and like what's going on in the world and what's going on with like the few people that I do know and stuff like that. But by watching the astrology, I would just think that a lot of people in a lot of different ways are going through like major upheavals and stuff in their lives right now and like major changes. And that's what the astrology says is going on. As you know, like I say, we are all on kind of our personal evolutionary path to our higher selves, and that is what like the electromagnetic frequencies are resonating inside all of us in different ways, trying to like elevate us all. And we can kind of tell based on, you know, the frequency that we're made out of, which is what our personal like natal chart is. It's basically like a blueprint of the energetics that were in effect whenever we were born, the instant we were born. And so it's kind of like our electromagnetic blueprint to our soul or path for life in this life. So by learning our chart and by seeing where these energies are playing out for us, we can get a better idea of what it is that we need to confront, like figure out and focus on and clear out and change, so that we can become the best, most high version of ourselves, so that we can each reach our true potential that we came here to do, and in doing that, create an infinitely better world for ourselves and everyone around us. Yes. So, okay, that was just like a random spiel, I guess. But what I'm trying to get back to is Leo, the moon in Leo for today. And yes, so moon in Leo. First thing that it will do when it goes into Leo, because like I said, Leo is the first thing it will do is it will start sextiling, which is a good aspect. This is why I think it's going to be maybe a more like positive or just easygoing next couple of days while the moon is in Leo, because it is going to... I need a new eyelash curler so bad. Ugh. It is going to sextile the sun, which recently moved into Leo and is its ruler, and or moved into Libra rather. It goes Leo, Virgo, Libra, and every 2 is a sextile, which is like a positive aspect, because every 4 is a square, which is the big challenging aspects of change. So it's going to form a sextile with the sun and then Venus and Mercury in Libra, and Venus rules Libra and the sun rules Leo. And so with those energies in sextile to the moon as it goes through Leo this month, I just feel like we might have a little bit smoother, more pleasant, more beautiful couple of days because of the sextile to the moon's ruler and Venus in Libra and those things. That seems kind of like a nice day, astrological, like weather report or something. Okay, so now I have my lashes curled basically as best they're gonna get. And I am going to, let's see, I'm going to lay down a little bit of color first. I'm not going to put tons of color on my eyes because I'm doing that cat eye. And I don't want to like weigh it down with a bunch of other color because I'm doing, maybe I should do my lip first so I can kind of like get a basis for the color that I'm going to use. Okay, so, but this is what I'm doing today. I have this new palette, hemp infused Pacifica Beauty Tiger's Eye. See that? I wish I had a nice big tiger's eye necklace to wear right now, but I don't. But I will sometime, and when I get that, I will use this and I will wear that, and it will probably be during a Leo moon. But anyways, this is what we're working with right here. It's just this little teeny palette. It was one of their less expensive palettes because it's just these 6 colors. But it's really pretty, and I wanted to try this out today. I've never used this yet. I got it with the Cosmic Reflect palette from Pacifica the other day, which I also love. So I'm going to use this, and I'm only going to probably use maybe like this goldstone shade in there. I'm going to do some of this sandstone just to begin with. And then I'm also thinking I may go into my Barbie by Pure by Barbie palette and maybe flirt with like this in here a little bit. I don't know exactly, because I just don't want it to be too dark. I just kind of want it to be shimmery like cat eye, because I'm going to do the darker colors on my lips and cheeks. So I'm just going to start with this sandstone color and lay down a little base to start off with. Alright, so yes, we've said that the moon will be making a sextile to its ruler and to Venus and its ruling sign, and also to Mercury. So we feel pretty good about that as the moon's going into Leo this month. I think that will bring a nice couple of days for everybody, hopefully, regardless of what your like placement and stuff is. I mean, we are obviously in like the crucial times right now, so a calm, nice couple of days might not exactly be what it used to be, but still, we could all use it. Now, I've said a couple things about the moon in Leo. The moon, let me just say, like, to me, the moon in Leo is like the performer, the creator. I mean, Leo is what it is. Like, it's a show. It's the sun. It's creativity. It has a lot to do with children because of the whole creative thing. It has a lot to do with like performing and putting on shows and like being at the center of attention, and kind of like ultimately I think that Leo seeks to like give its creative expression to the world, and that's why it has like the whole like showmanship like quality to it and stuff. It's like the Leo frequency can create. It creates, and then it wants to show and present and put on stage and shine a light on and stuff like that. So yes, just a few things about the moon in Leo. I'll probably say a few more things as we get going. But it's a very, and it's also like intensely loyal. Like with my moon in Leo, I have a really hard time like letting go of things sometimes. And like with a moon in Leo, I feel like, I mean, creative self-expression is a big thing. I feel like people with a moon in Leo need to be like creative somehow and able to present that somehow. And okay, I have that. Now I think I'm going to just use a tiny bit of this color in the crease every time. This one. It's called, hold on, I have the box back here. It's a really nice box, so I don't want to throw it away. It's called Empowered. You know what? I have to use it now because that's a perfect word for a Leo moon, and it's so much power. Like the sun, like it's super, super, super powerful. So yeah, empowered. The Leo moon is very empowered. And you know, sometimes with Leo, you need to be careful. We need to be careful not to take it too far because, you know, it's the sign of the ruler and stuff. And so Leos, people with strong Leo energy generally, like we should always try to like look for that Aquarius balance sort of to like not make it all about us, but instead find where our unique like creative contribution, like our showmanship and what we create, perform, present fits into the bigger picture. That's something I always try to keep in mind with my Leo moon because I do say I love being on stage. I love performing. I was a dancer for a really long time. Like dance recitals, honestly, were probably my favorite part of life. I dream about them. I still want to be. I still want to like figure out how to be like a grown-up dancer somehow. All right, I'm just going to put this, oh yeah, all right. Just like in the crease right here, not too high. I've never used this color before. Yes. So, yeah, that looks great. So Leo, yes. It's like Leo, we always need to like practice moderation though in terms of our wanting to be the center of attention because it really needs to be wanting to be the center of attention in the context of what we bring to the collective. Like that's what we always have to keep in mind with the Leo vibe because I would say of all of the signs, Leo is probably one that has the most tendency to be like more self-indulgent and more like self-aggrandizing and stuff like that. And that's really not what we're going for in terms of, you know, our collective evolution with this conjunction that's coming up in January. All right, I am obsessed right now with this color. I didn't know. I've had it sitting in my palette and I've never used it. And I didn't know that it was going to be like this. And isn't that always just a great surprise when it happens and it is like that? Okay, my Leo loves. So I've said a little bit about you guys, or just the energy generally, but I'm going to use this brush now and just kind of, I like it so much that I kind of just want to do a little bit more. It looks like weird in my monitor. It looks better, way better in this mirror right here. Okay. Well, we're just gonna call it that, I guess. And I really need to like figure out a better lighting situation. You wouldn't believe the lighting. It looks so funny. Like I have such a setup right here right now, but it still doesn't show the makeup to the quality that I want it to. But that is so freaking pretty. Okay, let's get started on our cat eye. Leo. Okay. That was like the corniest thing ever. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Now, full disclosure, like I said, I don't often do cat eyes, but I am today. All right, I'm using this black liner. It's actually from Unique Products, Unique Cosmetics, which is like one of those brands that you can't buy. You have to like go through someone to buy it, like on Facebook or something. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to line my entire eye with this. And when I'm done, I'm going to look completely different. And I'm going to talk while I do it. I'm going to try to do it so you guys can see me. All right, so yes, there's a company, and I'm going to start on the bottom because I like to draw my bottom line first, so because I feel like that gives me like a better thing. I'm from this like really like small weird town in New York State, upstate New York, like not anywhere near New York City. And a couple of years ago, I took a really long break from makeup for a while. Like I really didn't wear much makeup at all for probably like, I don't know, a long time. But I just recently started wearing makeup again the last like, I would say like 2, maybe 3 years. But I wasn't really big into it. I just started kind of really getting like big back into it. Maybe like 2 years ago. But the point that I'm trying to get to is that already. The point that I'm trying to get to is that in my town where I'm from, there was a period of time a couple years ago, and I don't honestly know if it's still going on because I don't have like a personal Facebook anymore. I can't. But every single girl in my town was using this brand, Unique Cosmetics, and like 50% of them were also selling it. So, and like they were all always posting about it on like Facebook and stuff. And so I was like, wow, like this stuff looks amazing. And they're not like a completely organic brand, but they are pretty like, oh my, look at that. Hey guys, do you like each side of my face? So yeah, they weren't like a completely natural brand, but they do have like really good ingredients, and they were one of the, like, because of that, I was like, oh, like, let me get involved in this for a little bit. And so I bought like one of the starter kits, and I actually like dabbled in like selling the makeup for a little while, which didn't go very well because like I said, I'm kind of like an isolated like individual right now. I don't have like a big like network of people to be like selling makeup to. Well, I guess maybe that might change the more I do these videos if people like them. But before that, before I was doing AstroBeauty publicly, when I was doing it personally, no one, I didn't really have like a ton of people to sell makeup to. So that didn't work out for me so well. But I did get a bunch of Unique products. And I do, I like them, but I don't like that you have to like only specifically buy it through people that sell it. That's just not really my thing. I don't like it when I have to go to like somebody's Facebook page or like I can only buy it on there. Like I want to be able to go to a website and buy makeup when I want without having to like talk to somebody. And I don't know if that's just because I'm weird or like whatever, but look, oh my. All right. Anyways, talking so much about me. Yeah, Leo moon. I really was just trying to tell the story of this unique pencil, how I got this black unique pencil and why I have this black unique pencil, but that's why. And so I'm using this, and this is, I'm not really like, I haven't really like gotten into eyeliner very much, like this type of eyeliner. So, all right, I should probably do my other eye now. That's probably good. Makeup is just so amazing. Actually, I need to do a little bit more under here. All right, so let me stop talking about like random stuff that is like completely insignificant and talk about non-random stuff that is significant. I'm gonna do my other eye now. All right, so the moon goes into Leo. It sextiles the sun and Venus and Mercury, and we think that that's going to be a good thing for us. And then what does it do? Well, then, like I've mentioned a couple times but haven't really said any like details about, it will square Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So basically Uranus moved to Taurus and it has been there doing all types of things to shake us up and basically force us to change our lives. And this is happening, you know, like I said, ultimately it will be for, now this is the side where I can't see very well in my mirror, so maybe if I go like this, do it this way. Yes. So with Uranus there, it is just causing all types of shakeups and changes in whatever area of life it's focused in for us. But every month when the moon goes through the fixed signs, and yes, Leo is one of the fixed signs, it will square that Uranus right there, and that will cause likely some shakeups and changes because the moon, like I've said, is a trigger point planet. I gotta sharpen this pencil a little bit. It is a trigger point planet because it rules like our emotions and stuff like that. So a lot of times when the moon goes through a sign, it makes us feel some type of way, and then our feelings are generally like a lot of times like what causes us to act and do things. So that's why I say like it's like a trigger, more of like a trigger for things, because when the moon goes through, things are like emotionally driven, and it's more likely to cause people to do things that like move along the astrology, sort of, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not like speaking super clearly today. I'm sorry. I'm trying. It's been like a really crazy week, and I didn't have like a ton prepared because there's not a ton going on, so I'm just kind of freestyling it today, and you know, I guess that's not like my best strategy for the astrology, but I feel like we can do it and we're going to be all right. So, yes, the moon goes through and it will conjunct that Uranus, which will likely cause like maybe some shakeups, but I don't know how really like severe they're going to be, like I said, because of the fact that we have those sextile going on with the sun while the moon is in Leo. Now, after, and this is like pretty much the only main thing besides the square. Sorry, this is like just not going on super smooth, and it's annoying me. I'm gonna have to go in with my liquid because it's just like being super tacky and it's not working great. I need a new black pencil. That's what we've learned so far today. I'm going to use this liquid now, and hopefully I can fix some of that problem. All right. Okay. So the moon will go through Leo and it will square Uranus, and shakeups, shocks, surprises, accidents, all for the purpose of putting us on our best track. And then, yes. And then we have the trine going on with Jupiter. The trine with Jupiter, yes, the trine with Jupiter. You know, Jupiter, who expands things and makes things bigger. So, an ongoing trine with Jupiter has been happening with the moon, and it's in fire signs. It's in Sag, and it's in, wow, Sag and Leo. So, and it's also, also this happens when the moon goes into Aries, but a lot more also happens when the moon goes into Aries because it's not a fixed sign, it's a cardinal sign, and so it is making those aspects with the other cardinal planets right now, such as Saturn and the South Node. And yes, so Jupiter is sitting in Sag, recently went direct, and Jupiter expands things and makes them bigger. And so I don't know about you guys, but there's a good chance that you've been having exaggerated something of some kind. If you're a Leo ascendant or if you have a lot of strong Leo planets. I know for me with my moon there has definitely been an excess of things to be feeling some type of way about for me over the past months now, that Jupiter, because it went retrograde too, that Jupiter has been making that aspect. I'm obsessed, completely obsessed. Look at that. It looks so nice. I need to take, unfortunately, this is the only black liner I have. That's why I'm using it. And I need to try to fix this corner a little bit. Yeah. Yep. And okay. So as the moon goes through Leo, it will trine Jupiter. So, and the moon is our feelings, our internal self. So for all of us, at some point this month, or at some point this next couple days, when the moon gets to the degrees around where Jupiter is in Sagittarius, there could just be a general expansion or exaggeration of feeling, emotion, internal processing, something like that. But it's going to be different for everyone depending on what area of life, like I always say, this stuff is happening for you. One more thing I want to say, and this is just okay, hold on. All right, let me throw a little bit. I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna use this gold stone now, and I'm going to put it just above where I did the line, and then I'm probably going to do maybe just a tiny bit more of that empowered shade at the top, but I don't know. We'll see how it looks. So, yes. Basically, this is what's happening. If you watched my other video, there's one other video. The video I just did on, well, I talked about it in Taurus and I talked about it in Gemini. But there's this astronomical or astrological body that we all follow called Chiron, and it essentially is the archetype of the wounded healer, which is somebody who has essentially completed their karma, they've risen to a place of their highest mastery within themselves. Chiron was there's a lot of legends around Chiron, and you can, or myth around Chiron, and you can look it up and read them because I don't want to take tons of time here talking about it right now. But basically, he had to like go through like so much pain and so much suffering, but because of that he came to like the most tremendous like self-mastery and wisdom, and because of that he ultimately ended up being like the teacher of like all the Greek heroes, and was put in, you know, the constellation in the galactic center like of the universe. There's like all this mythology around it, but basically he was the teacher of teacher and the master of master, like the alchemist, the healer, the warrior, like everything. And so I like to like think about Chiron and study about Chiron and know what the Chiron frequency is doing. I feel like it's an important frequency to pay attention to. And there's two places in the zodiac that represent Chiron. There's the Chiron point, which is 4 degrees of Taurus in the zodiac, and that's where I believe Chiron was initially spotted or discovered. And then there's the actual Chiron, the actual body, like the astrological body, Chiron. And so when I look at Chiron, all right, I'm going to now just do a tiny bit more of this empowered shade right from my crease up. I had no idea how much I liked this color until I just used it. It's usually how it works with makeup, at least for me. So yes, I feel like Chiron is kind of a big deal because I feel like it kind of shows where our potential like for like self-mastery is. I don't know. A lot of astrologers follow Chiron. And there's been kind of like a bit of Chiron going on lately, like aspects to Chiron, because planets have been moving into Libra, and Chiron is in Aries right now, and Libra and Aries are opposites. And so I just kind of wanted to like talk about a little bit about Chiron because there's not that much going on, and there's just like, it's just interesting because as the moon goes through Leo, it will square off with Uranus, which is actually retrograding right around the Chiron point. I think it's at like 6 degrees of Taurus right now, and the Chiron point is 4 degrees of Taurus. So it's kind of like in a sustained conjunction with the Chiron point, like Uranus trying to align us all with like our master potential, like that Chiron vibe and frequency. Like that's what all the shakeups I feel like that Uranus is bringing are trying to, you know, do. Okay, look at that. That's crazy. Let me do my blush and my lip. No, do my under eye first. Yeah, so Leo. Okay, so yes, the moon is going to be squaring Uranus, which is at the Chiron point, which to me is like trying to help us align with our inner Chiron, like our inner, like wounded healer, teacher, master, like learn from the experiences we've gone through, overcome them, and like develop tremendous wisdom from them that we can then use to like teach and manifest in the world. But yes, so the moon in Leo will square the Chiron point, and then the sun, the ruler of Leo, is also, while the moon is in Leo, in almost exact opposition with Chiron itself right now, which is at, I believe, 4 Aries. And the sun is, I mean, it's where right now? It's at like 3 or 4, 2 or 3 or 4, somewhere around there, Libra, which is opposite. So it's like the moon goes through, and just at this particular cycle, because this is the only particular cycle, Leo cycle of the year, when the sun will be opposite Chiron, when the sun will be in Libra. So it's like the moon squares off at Uranus at the Chiron point, and then simultaneously the moon's ruler, the sun, is opposing Chiron. So it's, to me, like this particular Leo cycle is sort of like a double dose of that master frequency, like, and it's an opposition between the sun and Chiron. So it's like in full view of our potential, sort of, is kind of like how I'm perceiving it a little bit, which I don't know, I could be wrong, but I just think that's interesting. So, yes, those are the 4 things that I mainly wanted to say about the preliminary astrology before I get into the more specifics of, what's going on for everybody who's an ascendant in Leo and talk specifically about you guys. So, yeah, I think that's basically what I wanted to say. I feel like it's going to be hopefully a more pleasant, easygoing, nice couple of days as the moon goes through Leo. And so now let's talk specifically about you who are Leo ascendants, how the past month has probably been playing out for you with your full moon and new moon, even though we are coming real close to be at our next new moon. Only 2 more cycles, Leo and then Virgo, and then we'll have the new moon in Libra. So we'll do a new moon video soon. But for now, let's talk about how this past month may have gone for you and like what's been going on. I should probably at this point start talking about the next month, but I haven't thought about that yet. I need to do that. We'll just do a recap for now. And also, I need to do my blush now. I have this just like empty mineral container that I am going to put my blush in. Yes. And today, I'm a little undecided. I have the shade Mulberry. These are from the All Natural Face. They're some of my samples. And then I have the shade Warm Plums. Now, the Warm Plums is much darker than the Mulberry. I think I'm going to try the Mulberry. And if I feel like I need the Warm Plums, then I will use that. But for now, I'm going to try this Mulberry. I love purples. And I love that, mustard purples are coming in trend this season. Because I wear them all the time anyways. And isn't it great when something you wear all the time becomes like a trend? It's nice. Okay. So, and it looks like that. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just going to kind of buff out my face a little bit first. All right, so new moon happened for you, Leo ascendants, in your second house. Because if you're a Leo ascendant, then Virgo is right after that. So it's on your second house. And so that means for you, the second and the 8th house axis are what have been in the spotlight with the full moon. Now, with the new moon, hold on. If you saw in my intro, I used for my cheek base today one of these, I like these a lot, these little Mineral Fusion 3-in-1 color sticks. I used this one in the shade Magnetic because I knew I was going to do like a more like dark purpley cheek today, and so I wanted to lay some of that down first. So that's what I used. All right, so with the new moon having happened in your second house, there was probably a big emphasis on finances this past month. Money, all of that energy. We had the stellium, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, and Mars in your second house. Yeah, I would say money, finances, resources. There was probably a highlight in those areas of life because that is what the second house focuses on. And so it's hard to say, or, possibly it's ruled by Taurus, so there could have been like some type of like creative energy, like building energy going on also, but I would think more specifically with all the money there, with all those planets there, the second house, that there would be like something going on to do with money or finances, or putting a lot of energy into making money or into like financial type things. Or also it could be like beautifying things. There could have also been like a lot of energy put into like making things beautiful, or like air, like having to do with things that are very valuable. Yeah, a lot of energy around value, worth, whether that translates into your finances or creating things of value, something like a lot of energy in some way there. It's so pretty, this past new moon cycle. And so then that means that the full happens in your 8th, and that also puts Neptune and the black moon in your 8th house of Scorpio, the depths, things hidden underneath the surface, other people's resources, other people's like entanglements with other people, stuff like that. So with the 2nd and the 8th access highlighted this month, there was probably some type of emphasis on like yours versus others in terms of resources. Like you may have, and with the black moon, you ascendant in Leos, you have the black moon, and you have, like I said, Neptune in the 8th house. So there's some type of shadow going on for you right now, like some type of subconscious thing, like blockage, something holding you back, surrounding other people's receiving things, other people's resources, some way. And it's playing into your 2nd house, what you value, worth, what you find worthy, about self, because it's kind of like the 2nd and 8th, like the 8th is more about other people's resources, and the 2nd's more about our own, like how we create our safety, like what internal stuff we have inside of us that makes us feel like strong and safe, Taurus. And a lot of times in our world that translates into money. So pretty. All right, I'm gonna do my lip. Actually, I'm gonna powder up first. Where are you? Sorry guys, it's like really early in the morning and I still have my bathrobe on around my waist. So, yes. All right, I'm using this bamboo blur powder from 100% Pure because it's phenomenal. It's like the best setting powder ever created, maybe. I don't know. I've actually only used a few other type of setting powders, but this one I love. So I'm going to do my under eye real quick with this. And then I'm going to do my lip. And then I'm going to do my mascara. And then I'm going to set my face. And we're going to be done. We need to throw on a highlight too. Okay, so you're probably very busy, a lot of focus, a lot of energy on your personal resources and finances this whole month. Then when the full moon came, like last couple weeks ago or week and a half ago or whatever, it definitely probably brought light to some type of insecurity or feeling some type of way in relation to other people's stuff. And stuff can mean like physical stuff, or stuff can mean like emotional entanglements, just like other people's stuff, deep connection, deep under the surface type stuff. That's what the 8th house is. Alrighty. And with the black moon and Neptune there was trying to be something like something is trying to be brought to clarity, to be healed or dissolved. Something that's like some type of internal complex or programming regarding receiving or regarding the relationship you have between like the self and others, like in terms of value, worth, resources, stuff like that, there has to be some type of clearing out in like your deep psychological like processes or complexes in regards to the resources of other people. The black moon, Neptune, the full moon, shining full light, or like maybe like a lack of boundaries, Neptune in the eighth, like not really being able to differentiate between yours and others. Something along those lines must have been highlighted in some way with the full moon, because and with the new moon to the full moon, because that's just the way that the energies are playing out for you guys. All right, I guess I'm just gonna do my mascara real quick so I can just be done with this eye look, and then I'll slap on the lip. Right, the daily mascara sniff. I'm not kidding you guys, this mascara smells so good. All right, so yeah, the 2nd and the 8th for you guys. Self-value, self-worth versus that of others is what's been on blast for you guys in whichever way that has turned out. Now, moving on. Right now, for you Ascendant and Leos, since your chart ruler is the Sun, and this Sun is currently in Libra, that puts your chart ruler right now into your 3rd house. And it's pretty pleasant because he's there with Venus and Mercury. Venus rules Libra, so that's always a nice thing. So you can expect for the next month or so, as the Sun goes through Libra and transits your 3rd house, there to be like a lot of communications about things. You might get a lot of information, you might get a lot of messages, you might be learning a lot of new things, you might be interacting with a lot of people, just exposed to a lot of information. Or taking short distance trips, back and forth. That is also the 3rd house, Gemini. Also, it deals with siblings and I think cousins and stuff like that. So yeah, there is just a lot of information, communication, possibly short distance travel, and stuff like that going on for you guys this month, because your ruling planet is in the 3rd house. So I gotta use this mirror. That's what I would expect for you guys for this month. Now, like I said with that a little while ago, your chart ruler, the Sun, where it's at right now as the moon goes through Leo, is at the few degrees that oppose where Chiron is right now. And as the moon goes through Leo, it will also square the Chiron point where Uranus is right now. So because of those things, I wouldn't be surprised if this particular Leo cycle, there is some sort of confrontation with, or maybe things surprising things happen in a Uranus fashion to sort of show us where we're at in terms of where we need to be going, because the Sun is going to be opposing Chiron, and Chiron is like I said, to me it represents our sort of true potential and our ability to master things. And with the moon squaring off at Chiron's point in the sky while Uranus is there trying to help us all find our inner master, and then the ruler of that moon cycle, the Sun, or that moon that moon sign, the Sun, is also opposing Chiron. It's we're kind of looking at our true potential, and maybe some shakeups are happening to help realign us with that. It's kind of that's kind of just interesting. I don't know, how much it will actually play out in the world, but I did notice that was happening, and Chiron is kind of a big deal to me personally. So I like to pay attention to what's going on with that. And I just thought it was interesting that as the moon goes through Leo, the moon's ruler will be opposing Chiron and the moon will be squaring the Chiron point where Uranus is right now. It's just like quite Chiron-y. And actually the last few videos, I feel like Chiron's also been highlighted in Gemini and in Taurus for different reasons. So I wanted to bring that up. How pretty. All right. Now I just need a lip. We're almost done. All right, so let's keep going and get on with this lip. Today, my plan right now is to use this shade of this Burt's Bees liquid lip. It is in the shade Lavender Lake. And I really like this color. And so I'm going to use it. All right, so for you ascendants, I've said that the new moon was in your second house of finances and personal value, personal worth, what makes you feel like personally secure and safe. The full moon fell into your 8th house of other people's stuff, other people's resources. There may be some confusion or lack of clarity or deeply held like issues surrounding your ability to receive or boundaries regarding like what's yours versus what's another person's. So and with the full moon and the black moon and Neptune in Pisces in that 8th house, there's like deep psychological like complexes surrounding these issues that are trying to be like dissolved, resolved, brought to the surface and cleared out. Okay, so the last thing that I really wanted to talk about for you guys, you ascendants in Leo, is, and I already kind of touched on this a little bit, is where exactly all of the big energy is playing out for you. And I'm going to do that as soon as I line. Like I said, I am using this Soft Berry Essence pencil today. I don't think I said that actually. I said I was using this. This is my lip color. This is my pencil. So let's do the pencil and then we'll do the lip color. Go. Okay, so there's our line. Now let's talk a little bit more, because I am almost done, a little bit more about the astrology for you guys. So I did mention this earlier, but I'm going to talk about it in more detail now. And this is the Burt's Bees liquid lipstick in the shade, like I said, Lavender Lake 831. I love this color. So this big grand conjunction that I always talk about, it's coming up in January, and for all of us, it's happening in a different area of life. And I've been trying to highlight that for all the ascendants in all the signs, not all my videos. And so for you guys, Leos, this energy seems to be playing out on your 6th and 12th axis. So for you, you have the 2nd and the 8th highlighted with the black moon and the new moon, full moon cycle for this past month. Ours and others, resources of ours and others. And then you have your Saturn-Pluto South Node conjunction is probably happening around your 6th house, which is things that we do on a daily basis. Our schedules, our tasks, our mundane activities, our like work that we do, how we take care of ourselves, how we take care of our environment, how we take care of others, how we take care of our health, our bodies, our minds, everything like that. So pretty. So for you guys, with that energy in your 6th, something about what you do, how you do life, basically, like your mundane life, like how you're like how you provide service to yourself and others, basically, like how you live life on a day-to-day basis is getting a transformation and an upgrade. With the 6th house, because Saturn and the South Node are like karmic planets, like things from the past, like long-standing patterns or long-standing structures or ways of being that are like ingrained and that we brought with us. And with Pluto there, it's the whole purpose of this conjunction is to clear those things out and to change them completely and regenerate and build an entirely new structure that aligns more with the destiny of where we need to go at this point. So, you guys, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to put a tiny bit more blush on just because that blush is so pretty, that mulberry. And I'm going to use a little bit of a highlight. And then I got to find the blush. Here it is. And then I'm going to just do a little more powder and I'm going to be done. Yeah, so for y'all, like, your daily life is basically going to get some type of, like, overhaul and purge, and something about, like, the way you serve yourself and others may experience some type of big changes somehow in the 6th. And that puts your North Node in the 12th. So that means that, like, where you're going is like a much more spiritual place, because the 12th is, you know, it's the house of Pisces. It's the like spiritual connection. Maybe like you're going to start like being a lot more spiritual or meditating a lot more, having a stronger connection to your higher self. Yeah, like maybe you'll start, I don't know, just like being more, having like a, like as you get through January 2020, maybe when you come out on the other side, you will realize that you have somehow like come to like a stronger connection with something higher than yourself. Because that would be like the more positive way, I would think, with your North Node, or the North Node for you guys right now in the 12th, and the South Node, Saturn, Pluto in the 6th. It's like maybe like clearing out like all of the things that have been holding you to like more of like a mundane viewpoint of reality, or that's just stuff has been keeping you like super, super busy, like day-to-day activities and stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking with you having your big purge coming in the 6th house of daily life, basically. And like connection. It's the house of Virgo. So it's like what we try to like strive for perfection in, and like it's like very connected to like the earth because it's an earth sign. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for you guys. And then that, you know, we should say that for you guys, then Saturn just went direct in your 6th house, most likely. So there may be some forward movement right now in terms of like anything that's been like blocking you, or, you know, maybe you haven't been able to like get the things done that you needed to get done, 6th house. Or maybe there just hasn't been a lot of activity lately. Or like work being done maybe towards that purge, or I mean, it's also the house of work. So things that you've been working on, like projects that maybe have been like stagnant or something, may start moving forward now that Saturn is direct. It also rules like pets, because we like take care of our pets every day. And so if there's been anything like going on with your pets, maybe now things will start clearing up with that too. So those are all things that I'm thinking for you guys with the 6th and the 12th on blast. And we'll talk about it more. This is just the first Leo video. So yes, we will. I can never tell. I like forget which eye is which in this monitor. So I can never exactly tell. But yes. So let's see. Is there anything else that I need to say for you Leo ascendants? We've talked about the 6th and the 12th. You guys are going to be changing a lot about the way that you do life and the way that you are like providing like services or things that keep you busy or daily activities, something like that is in need of a restructuring, a purging, a clearing out so that you can become more whatever you need to do for your North Node in the 12th. All right. And so then we also have, like I mentioned, you have Uranus right now in Taurus, and that will be in your 10th house most likely. And Taurus in the 10th is going to be having Uranus right now. That means Uranus is going to be in your 10th. And Uranus in the 10th means there may be some big shakeups for you going on right now in terms of your career or in terms of your public interface with the world or in terms of like your reputation or just something to do with how you present and interact with the world. That's where Uranus is. So big shocks, surprises, changes in your career, your public reputation, how you interface, maybe what you're doing for those things, stuff like that. All right, I'm going to I need a highlight. What am I going to use for my highlight today? I think I'm going to use, I love this luminizer out of this Punk Princess palette from 100% Pure. I'm going to use this on my nose and on my forehead and chin, and I think I'm just going to use a little bit of gold out of my Pure Cosmetics Sculptor palette for my cheeks. So yeah, with you guys having Uranus in your 10th right now, shakeups, changes, things kind of coming out of the blue, shock, surprises in relation to your career. And that's also interesting because you do have that Black Moon and Neptune, and just had the full moon in your 8th of like other people's resources, and you had the new moon in the 2nd of like your money, this month. So it's possible that things going on, like changes going on with work, with Uranus there in your 10th. And this is a 7-year thing. So it's like over the next 7 years, you're going to be getting probably you Leo people like a completely different career or like a completely different like public life somehow. Because it's a 7-year process as Uranus moves through signs, and it like completely like redefines whatever area of life that it is working through. And for you guys, that's your job. So I'm just going to do a tiny bit of this right here. So for you, that may be causing some of those issues that you might have been dealing with this past month about, your personal finances, resources, self-worth, etc. And all of the shadow and maybe like lack of clarity or confusion or like subconscious like psychological complexes in the 8th of like other people's resources and receiving. Like that might be playing in somehow, because I could see how like big sudden changes in career might cause somebody to have to like really put a lot of energy and effort and like time and everything into like finances all of a sudden, or their personal resources all of a sudden, and have like some type of like fear or like shadow or something around like being able to receive or resources from others. There's a lot of ways it can play out, but I see how those two things can kind of fit together. So that's basically what it is. I'm just sitting here talking because I'm actually done with my makeup. I finished my makeup before the astrology today. That's interesting. So I'm going to finish putting myself together, and I will be right back for my little recap on it all. All right, guys, so here I am back with my full moon in Leo look for today. Today, for my makeup, as you can see, I went with the Leo-themed cat eye, and I absolutely am loving it. I don't do cat eyes much, but for Leo, it's definitely a good look. I also, on my eyes, used the shade Empowered from the Barbie collection, which I thought was very wonderfully named for my Leo look, because the sign of Leo, the moon in Leo, is all about your personal power and embracing and channeling your personal power. So I loved that. I also tried out for the first time today this Tiger's Eye little palette in hemp infused shadows from Pacifica. I used this shade Sandstone and this shade Goldstone as part of my shimmery gold cat eye, Leo eye. We'll call it a lion eye. My lion's eye for today. And because it's getting cooler here finally, we've been starting to have days under like 100, and I'm really trying to channel the seasonal changes. I wanted to go with more of like a goldenrod, like mustardy yellow gold color, and balance it off by like a warm plum purple color. So that's what I totally did for my cheeks and my lips. I used the shade, well, first of all, I used the Mineral Fusion 3-in-1 color stick in the shade Magnetic from Mineral Fusions. And then I used this really beautiful color. It's called Mulberry from the All Natural Face. Loose pigments for my blush today. And for my lip, I used an Essence liner, and then I used this really, really beautiful liquid lip from Burt's Bees in the shade Lavender Lake. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm really loving it, and it's balancing so beautifully with the cat eye, the gold, and the gold. And I'm wearing gold, and I'm wearing purple, and I'm wearing cat eye because Leo is the most regal, royal sign about, you know, bringing out our inner kings and queens and really using our creative energy and our creative potential to try to express ourselves to our fullest in relation to where we fit into the whole. Leo and Aquarius oppositions. So when the moon is in Leo every month, I really like to get really, you know, regal, a little royal, a little showy, a little, you know, Leo is the center of attention. Leo is on stage. Leo is the performer. So I kind of like to channel that a little bit and kind of just be a little flashier, a little brighter, and a little in the spotlight when the moon goes into Leo every month. And so let's talk about the astrology now that we've done the recap of the makeup and the basic vibe we're going for. The lion's eye with the purple and gold for the more regal, royal themes, and also putting our creative expression in the spotlight. Okay. In terms of the astrology, as the moon goes through Leo this month, Leo is one of the few signs that is not currently being super heavily activated by a lot of other planets in other signs, because the fixed signs right now outside of Uranus are not receiving huge influxes of energy, as are a lot of the other signs. So the main things that we're thinking about as Leo, the moon goes through Leo this next couple days is, first of all, it's going to be sextiling, which is a beautiful aspect with its ruling planet, the sun, and also Venus in Libra and Mercury in Libra. So we should have kind of a nice, pleasant couple of days as the moon transits through Leo this month. Also, the moon in Leo will square Uranus in Taurus right around the same time that the moon's ruler, the sun, opposes Chiron. And because of the location of Uranus in Taurus at the Chiron point and the fact that the moon's ruler, the Leo moon ruler, the sun, will oppose Chiron right around the same points of time, that kind of again brings up for me like the Chiron theme of self-mastery. And for you Leos, it's like the sun, your ruling planet, in full view of mastery and potential. And so that's just something to keep in mind. The moon squaring to Uranus every month probably does bring some shakeups and changes for you as it goes through your sign, as it goes through Leo for all of us. It's just one of the trigger points during the month where we might expect to see some of the more surprising Uranus changes going on, because that square is activated as the moon goes through Leo. And then the only other thing really outside of the sextile from the sun and Mercury Venus is a trine that the moon will make to Jupiter while it is in the fire sign of Leo, because Jupiter right now is in the mid-range degrees of Sagittarius. And so anything in Leo will be receiving a trine, an expansion, a blessing, some type of gift or help or assistance in some way from Jupiter, who is expanding things. So that's basically the general astrology for the next few days. I feel like it's going to be a pretty nice couple of days, although there is that Uranus, there is that square, and yeah, I just think that, you know, there might be some shakeups, but it's going to be all good. So I feel like I'm just rambling on today. I'm sorry if this video wasn't like as clear and concise as I usually try to do. I don't know what my problem is today. I feel like I've just been like randomly speaking and it hasn't been like super directed, even though I didn't really have that much to say. But anyways, I tried. That was the best that I could do for today. And this is my Leo makeup and this is my Leo outfit. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you back next time for the moon in Virgo. Starting over, my first video was the moon in Virgo, so I have officially come full cycle, and I will see you guys then. I hope you have a really great Leo couple of days, and you can shine in all of your personal glory. See you guys later. Oh, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I'm supposed to say that. And I'm an all natural makeup channel. I only use all natural makeup. See, I'm just like forgetting everything today because I don't want makeup polluting my skin and I just love it more than anything. So we use all natural makeup here at AstroBeauty. And all right, I'm just going to wrap this up because this one is not my best, but we do what we can. All right. So until next time, you guys, AstroBeauty out.